This illustration looks soft and dreamy, but getting here was not simple. Because when you are building a story illustration, it's never just about drawing something pretty. It's about decisions, composition, perspective, mood, color palette, and how every object supports the story. In today's video, I'm taking you inside my project, The Key, and showing you how I designed one of the most important elements of the whole story. A giant clock that isn't just a clock. It's a doorway, a memory, and a transition between worlds. We will sketch ideas together, fix perspective before adding color, use mood boards and color palettes to keep everything matching, and see how small changes in proportion can change the whole feeling of an illustration. So if you enjoy a slow, thoughtful character design and watching an illustration come to life step by step, let's begin. Alright, if you have watched the previous video, you already know what's going on here and who this little character is. And if you haven't watched yet, it's alright, that's totally fine. This is the main character of my story project that I recently started. I call it the Key project. She's a little girl who goes on a dreamy, surreal journey and trying to find a memory that she lost. And today I'm sketching a new scene for her, and this one involves a giant clock that she is looking into. What I'm covering today is that first of all we will explore two different compositions here, then we fix the perspective, and after that we will move into a coloring process and adding those details and rendering parts. I wanted to this clock look deep and almost like a water, or like a hole, something that could fall into, because in this story the time isn't normal, nothing is realistic, everything is dreamy, magical, and just a little bit mysterious as well. So I started by sketching two different ideas, as you can see, and in the first one she is leaning into the clock, in the second one she's kind of sitting next to it, almost like she's ready to climb in. At this stage I kept her just very simple and focusing on the storytelling, and of course her body language as well, because it's really important to have that feeling that she's like kind of falling into a portal or a hole. You can see that I'm trying to find that body language, that feeling, that storytelling, and I'm not focusing on the details here. And eventually I chose the second sketch because in this one she really looks like she's drawn to the clock and she kind of wants to go inside it. Now here's the important part: perspective. You can see me trying to find the correct perspective for the clock, because she is holding the clock on her knee. The clock is not on the ground, I really needed to find the correct perspective and those, spaces between her knee and the clock. It has to sit at a very right angle. If the perspective is wrong, the entire piece collapses visually. This step is so crucial. No matter how beautiful the colors are, if your structure, your perspective is off, your final illustration just won't feel right, So it's completely okay to slow down here, take your time, and just make sure that everything is correct. Once the base sketch is felt solid, it's time to go for a clean sketch. Here I go over every line and refine the shapes, make sure everything feels solid and feels right, of course. In every illustration that I make, I usually do multiple sketches, and this is just part of the process. Don't be afraid to, redraw things over and over again. The result will always be much better, And here, as you can see, that I'm trying to draw the clock in the perspective. But here is a tiny trick that I use when I want to draw a big circle like this. The big circle already in the perspective, which is really hard. I draw it from the front side first, make it simple, clean circle, and then I take that circle and tilt it into the perspective afterward. It's much easier and just keeps the shapes accurate. But if I want to draw it already in the perspective, it's gonna be so difficult. I recommend to do this, If you are one of my subscribers and you have watched my previous videos, you know that I always recommend to make a mood board before, starting an illustration. This helps you build visual direction and overall feelings of your projects. It's kind of, you always know where you are heading. you know, when you are working on a big piece like this. As you can see, I am doing the same thing that I've done with the clock for the keys here. I draw them from the front side first using different references, added those tiny old-fashioned vintage metal look, you know. And once everything is ready, I'm placing the key around the character, adding some floating papers and a few stars as well, to give the whole piece that dreamy, magical vibe, you know, because the character is already in a sleep. She's going into a dream and she's gonna find a lost memory. So everything must have a symbol of dream, like stars is a symbol of night, papers or pictures are a symbol of memories or family pictures, you know. The clock is a symbol of time, right? And the key is symbol of opening doors or opening memories. When you want to going back and think about a memory, you kind of opening a door, because in that memory there is so many feelings, there is so many people that you meet, you left in the past. So all of these items that I'm picking for this story have something to say, you know. If you are enjoying this journey with me and want to see how this whole project comes together, make sure to like the video and subscribe and hit the bell. If you leave a comment, I will make sure to reply to all of them. If you have any question or just you want to give a feedback, I'm there. I'm gonna read them. Every Sunday I share a video on my YouTube channel, and if you subscribe me and hit the bell, you don't miss my next video, you know. And the next one is gonna be the same project, different scene, different illustrations, so it's gonna be fun, you know. Alright, let's get back to drawing, and now it's finally time for coloring. Since this is a full project, I want every illustration to share the same color palette. I looked back on my previous video that I, you know, designed the character. I selected the same color palette for this one as well. Having a consistent color palette just keeps everything connected together and gives the project, you know, kind of a visual harmony. Everything's is kind of in one place together, you know. So it's really important to have a color palette for the entire project. One thing that I really wanted from this piece was for the clock to feel like a doorway, you know, like a portal into a dream world. Kind of like my character could actually step in and explore a new world. You know guys, I was thinking about this a lot, that what if something like this really existed? You could just step into a clock and going into the past, you know, or maybe in the future. It's really fascinating, isn't it? I don't know if I wanted to go in the future or the past, but I think it's so much fun, you know. Just imagine that you've got a giant clock here, just over here, and you could just say, okay, I want to go to the past. Get your coffee, open the portal, and just say, okay, I'm gonna go to like 100 years ago. You know, it's fun, but I don't want to stuck in the past. Just wanted to, you know, go for a journey and have this possibility to get back. I don't want to stuck in the past. It's too scary. But in the future, I don't know, maybe. I want to experience that. I think it's so much fun. As you can see, I started by darkening the inside of the clock to really give that feeling of death, like it goes forever, you know. Once that feels right, I go back and work on my character. I focus on giving her more kind of volume and form, like working carefully on her face, her eyes, and, you know, pushing that 3D look. You can see I spent some time refining her hair, like adding a few soft details, and then I moved to the clothing, just enough details to support the story, you know. I wanted the dress be look like the main character that we designed in the previous video. After that, I just get back to the clock again. I knew that at this stage the clock still wasn't fully completed, you know, so I went over it again and adjusting the shapes, refining the edges, and I was really trying to capture that old deep vintage look. So you can probably see that I'm really pushing myself to make the clock feel so deep, and it's kind of like this clock has been here for a long time, you know. Once I was happy with the clock, I started working on the background. I kept it dreamy, kind of colorful, and after that I added a very sharp lighting that is coming out from the clock. This kind of lighting creates strong shadows on the characters and adds a very beautiful lighting on her face as well, you know. And it helps the viewer's eyes go exactly where I want, you know. I want my audience look at my character face and also look in the clock. So the light coming out from the clock and it has a good lighting on the character face. So it's kind of the main focus of the entire project. And after that, it was time to add a magical element inside the clock. As we discussed, we had stars, we had kids, papers, pictures, tiny little sparks. I added all of them to build up a mysterious, dreamy atmosphere that makes the clock feel like a portal, you know. And yeah, once I was happy with the overall mood, I went back over the character one last time. I looked at her and I added those final color adjustments, deepening the shadow, working on her face, adding little details. I call this part rendering the character, working tiny little details to just give the final look. To finish everything off, I added a soft blur around the scene, so the focus stays right on the character and the clock. That's it. That was the goal, you know. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. This project is so close to my heart, and every little sketch brings the story one step to the life, you know. And I can't wait to show you the next piece that I will be working on another page of this project, and we will be talking about the composition and one important topic, the muddy colors and how to avoid them, because I think it's really important to know that. Well, the next video is going to be even more magical. Make sure to check out the description to get my Illustrator starter kit and my brush bag, and feel free to check out my Patreon channel as well. That's it for today. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!